everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be reading the December news page, or like Star Stable blog for December. I don't know. Yeah, the game blog for December, for 2022 in review. So let's get started. With 2022 at a close, it's a perfect time to reflect on what we've accomplished throughout the year and embrace the opportunities that lay ahead for 2023. My name is Stacy, and I'm the game director here for Star Stable Online. This means I help hold the vision of our game and ensure everyone is working together to deliver the best player experience we can. I've worked with Star Stable for over 7 years, and I look forward to the opportunities and potential every new year brings. A goal in 2022 was to release primary quests, those relating to the main plot of the Soul Riders and Dark Riders, more frequently and consistently. Now that a new witch and 3 of the 4 Dark Riders, our tiniest foe, is going through some additional interactions, are happily wreaking havoc and can continue the story in many compelling ways. We even have new locations for exciting gameplay. We also introduced the concept of story snacks, tidbits of lore or gameplay that are released between significant story beats. These often contain more in-depth details that we could explore during the primary quests themselves. We keep Jorvik lively through the release of secondary quests. One of my favorite quests this year was the completion of one of the most requested story continuations by far, the Baroness's Racetrack. We were determined to see this area flourish by impelling in new hub races and even a brand new championship. Visitors to the racetrack are left wondering, though, what does Miss Drake have up her sleeve? Marley's farm got a fresh coat of paint and a rather intriguing storyline about his not-so-deceased father. A continuation and suspiciously detail in telling siblings and Big Bonnie. Jorvik truly is a unique place. We helped the Bobcats prepare for their upcoming show featuring writing classes with everyone's favorite NPC, Stacy, and of course, good old Herman finally made his journey home. It's the least we could do for him, leaving him stuck in that awful container for so long. 2022 was a spectacular year for horses and equestrians. My goodness, emails, get out of here. Stop it. The Appaloosas dazzled us at the start of the year, followed by the Welsh pony, Brooker, and Hanami. The equestrian festival escorted in beautiful new variations, and then stepping in was my new favorite go-to horse, the Pasofino, debuted this spring too. We also saw an update to Halflinger, Sailor and Protez, and the Mighty Shire with the long overdue update. Hermalia and Athena, popped up just before some new horse variations. The Galaxy jumped off the page of one of our latest books and landed in Jorvik. I love this. This is such a nice photo. And I'm really hoping that with updated characters, we're going to be going like this over jumps. Not a little up out of the saddle, but this is a beautiful picture. Beautiful. I can't wait to ride my H&M horse, Storm. I'm so excited to ride him. Anyways, Laverna and Namani, I don't know. I don't know how to say these weird names. Stampeded their way into Halloween and were blown away by the love of these two And we were blown away by the love these two received. The Belgian Warmbloods, along with the H&Ms, all in, followed shortly after, proving to be some of the most photogenic horses I've seen in a long time. I know, they're so photogenic, and I love it. Your photography skills truly shined with these horses. The graceful Tennessee walkers waltzed their way in around out the year. What? That made no sense. That wasn't English. The graceful Tennessee walkers waltzed in to round out the year. That made more sense. I don't know what I said. Winter brought 2 exceptionally unique horses, unlike we've ever seen it on Jorvik before. The Unicorn, with its glowing horn, and Coulthard with its soft coat of snow. The bond between horse and rider is a is a vital element of Star Stable. In fact, it's one of the game's main pillars, as I've called them. And we've released the first in a series of new features meant to emphasize this area of game more than we have previously. Horse personalization means you can change your horse's name directly in the horse detail sheet and select the age and gender of every horse you own. While these details currently don't affect the impact gameplay, they can directly impact your personal equestrian experience. The new horse purchasing system is another significant improvement in the horse bonding area, allowing you to view all the gaits and movements of the horse before purchasing it to determine if it is the right fit for you and in your stable. You can also personalize your new horse, purchasing a new mane style and choosing to ride your horse right away in the new interface. This window allows us to condense the horses that exist in the world, which were starting to take up too much space, both physically in the world and in how they affect the game's performance. To keep Star Stable running on as many devices as our players use, we continually face the challenge of addressing the game's performance. A few other horse-related elements now have more structure, in some cases a proper schedule. We began the retirement of our pre-Generation 3 horses. The horses of races continue on a bi-monthly schedule. It will change slightly in 2023. And our magical horses rotate every single month. For magical horses, this confusion around if they would be returning, so now you can be reassured that any new magical horses will return in the rotation or during the following year associated festival. And of course, we can't forget the internal retrofitting process. We detailed this more in the previous blog post, but we will be retrofitting our Generation 3 horses with all new types of tack. We appreciate your understanding that's not easy as simply fitting a horse with a new item. It is made exceptionally more complicated depending on how many NPC versions of that horse exist in Jorvik. Speaking of horses, how about the Equestrian Festival? 2022 was a great year for festivals overall. We made considerable progress in our journey to solidifying our festival framework, including getting the Equestrian Festival up and running as our primary festival in spring. The team and all of our players easily made this one of the year's highlights, and with so much hard work, love, and appreciation. The summer was slightly different this year than it will be next year, as we'll be reorganizing to create our primary summer festival in July. The Beach Festival laid an excellent foundation for this, and we hope to build on that concept to create something even more engaging in 2023. While the Midsummer Festival will not return, the Rainbow Festival will, along with the magical Rainbow Horse Contest winners. Going through all the entries was inspiring. Every single one made me so happy to see. Festivals, even small ones, take a lot of work for the team, and we really want to be careful about which festivals will release and when. Creating this foundation of primary and secondary festivals that spreads over the years means that we can put a lot of effort into things that matter most players to each one. We wrapped up this year with the Halloween and winter both returning as two of the most exciting times of the year. While I believe some things didn't pan out as the team expected in Halloween, their efforts demonstrated that they felt comfortable taking risks and trying something new. We had an extended retro for Halloween. We were discussing the player experience that went well and what didn't, and changes and adjustments that will be made next year. Winter saw the return of snow in Jorvik, although most players understood deep within their hearts why we need to remove the snow in the first place. It has been a long-awaited and frequently requested return. In 2022, you could finally decide if you wanted to play in day or night with our time slider in the settings. We also introduced new photo mode and visibility options. Plus, you can now hear the pitter-patter of player footsteps as you traverse Jorvik. We ventured into handheld in 2022 with our global launch of Star Stable on iOS devices. Android being a bit trickier as in the works, but not ready for global release yet. We hope to have in your hands early access 2023 though. We've also made some countless leaps and bounds outside of the game. The new login queue, for example. And behind the scenes, we have teams that work with our servers, engines, internal tools, and more. That takes so much work and dedication, but that players will never see. These teams and their work should not be forgotten, and they make up a considerable chunk of our workforce numbers to help keep game and our systems running. Some of these folks were part of making snow happen again in Jorvik. We're insanely proud of what we accomplished. When the pandemic and quarantines hit 2020, the game industry flourished, and it was a great feeling to be a part of that industry and provided relief and escape to so many. We're seeing a rebound now, with so many people choosing activities that take them outside. And of course, in 2022, we've all had to start tightening our belts a bit when facing the current economy. This year has been a challenge for many across the globe. And while these are challenges we also face, we have a positive outlook for what we're working on next year. The biggest project on our horizon is an inventory revamp. This is a complete overhaul of our inventory system, which most of which is behind the scenes. With our significant blocker for some of the most requested features in Star Stable, an update and expanded wardrobe, additional horse item slots for ear bonnets, breastplates, and second saddlebags, etc. Even home customizations were all blocked by this massive undertaking. So while the projects that I mentioned are part of our backlog of things to do, the inventory revamp must come first. We also will be driving into discovery for possible features. We will also be dividing into discovery for possible features we'd like to bring to game, such as dressage, breeding, and the next step for our horse progression tack, horse personalization. Yeah. But our next blog post will cover more details about what will come to 2023. Stay tuned. So that was a lot. So let's just go over it. Yeah, so they talked about, obviously, 2022 and how they were excited how things played out. Now, this year, 2023, it's right here. So we're going to be getting an inventory revamp, which I'm really excited about. And they said that we might be getting ear bonnets, breastplates, and secondary saddlebags, etc. Then home stable customization, and then dressage and breeding, and horse progression track, horse personalities. Yeah. I'm excited. That's really exciting. I'm hoping that they don't really rush things, because the main thing I feel like they should really be looking at is expanding the wardrobe, because we need more space, especially when a lot of players like to collect items. Then they don't have any place to put it. As well as, obviously, updating our characters. I love that they are trying to add all these things into game, and that just makes me even more excited to make our horses feel more like our horses in a horse game that's not really real horses, I guess. But they really need to focus on, I feel like, updating the characters. I'm really excited that they're doing and looking forward to bigger things, but they promised us over the years new characters and they have not delivered, and so I think they promised us in 2023, so we should be getting them this year. But if they're going to start focusing on other things, they really should not be doing that. I'm excited for that, but they really need to focus on updating the characters. But yeah, this is really exciting, and I'm really hoping for these things to come to game. But that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye!